Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Crypto.com coin, but if you're new to the channel here and you want to stay updated with all the major news that comes with Crypto.com or any other altcoin or anything in the cryptocurrency market, because I'm going to be covering it all right here in this channel, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss out on anything else that I put out that's brand new. But without further ado, let's get right in. Okay, so we're going to start off with some news on Crypto.com, and as you heard, they have recently listed the new meme coin SHIB or Shiba Inu, and they released that on May 10th. And actually, after they released that, so you can see here, this is their Twitter page. After they released that, they started offering a bunch of things. They were asking like, what token should we add to earn? Retweet for Doge, heart for SHIB, and we had 26,000 likes for the Shiba Inu coin to earn on Crypto.com here, and they just released here, it says exchange list SHIB, trade SHIB and USDT pair now, and sign up here. And when they wrote sign up here, that's where they had a bunch of problems and their server actually shut down for the moment. And a lot of people that were buying cryptocurrencies, in this case they're probably buying the SHIB coin, then their servers actually went down and a lot of people didn't get their funds that they bought using their cards, which has since been resolved here. As we can see here, they wrote down here, our extreme levels of traffic over the last few days brought down one of our payment infrastructure vendors. The result was that a number of users didn't receive the crypto that they bought. Rest assured, if you bought crypto with the card in the last few days, you will receive it here. And this was on May 10th. And recently, let's see here, all credits have been processed. Thank you for bearing with us. My DMs are always open for any support issues. So that's cool that they fixed it. But as you can see, just like other exchanges like Robinhood, when Dogecoin started pumping, they also found a lot of server issues, in this case with their vendors. And Crypto.com had the same fate here when they listed SHIBA coin. But it says here, the fix has been deployed and all functionality is back to normal. Scripts backfiling and missing credits are up and running, but it is a slow process due to multiple checks required. Current ETA to complete it is 24 hours, and our team is working on speeding that up. So hopefully this is kind of like a wake-up call for Crypto.com to better the infrastructure and add more servers here so they can handle more mass adopters, especially when they're releasing meme coins like this. They should have known this would have happened, but now hopefully they're more prepared in the future for when things like this does happen. Here we see here that they also put an incident report on their website saying that this incident has been resolved, that we are aware that existing issues where card purchases were not credited to users' wallets, but they have successfully dealt with this issue within, I think, a day or two. So that's good to see here. But another thing that we want to look at here is on their website, they also finally released the details of their new fund. So they did have here a particle B accelerator launches the CRO EVM fund. So this is the Crypto.com ecosystem that was pairing with Ethereum blockchain projects here, and they just released their 100 million fund dedicated to supporting projects building on that Crypto.com EVM chain. So it says here 100 million to support projects building on this chain, and then Crypto.com today announced that their most requested chain feature, the Ethereum virtual machine support, which is launching on July 14th. So that's also another catalyst to put on our calendar here, July 14th. So coming up to that, it's going to be probably one of those buy the rumors, sell the news type of thing here. But EVM supports allows for rapid porting of apps and other smart contracts from other Ethereum virtual machine compatible chains like Ethereum, allowing for a faster ecosystem built out. EVM support will be implemented on the Crypto.com EVM chain, and to further support this, they just opened up this fund. They put $100 million into it, and they're giving out $1 million for each project for about 100 projects here, so they can start their ecosystem to grow and build with them. And it says EVM support will allow for simpler porting of apps and other chains, driving exponential ecosystem growth for Crypto.com, a fully decentralized open source public chain with high speed and extremely low fees. So that's what the news is so far for Crypto.com. They did have a server issue, but as you know, they have fixed it already, and they're also adding on to their EVM, their Ethereum virtual machine support, with this fund, the Particle B Accelerator. So they do want to accelerate this as fast as possible, especially because the release is launching on July 14th. So be on the lookout for that. But now let's look at the charts. All right, so here are the charts for Crypto.com. As of this recording, it is at 17 2.34 cents. So let's zoom in and see what happened the last couple of days. So we were talking about on this channel about a potential double bottom here happening, where we see this huge dump here from the middle of April, right? Breaking out of this pattern here to the low of 14 cents here. And we do now have the second bottom here reached. So we could potentially have this huge double bottom pattern here forming, with our neckline being right here at the 19-cent mark, which has been such resistance over the last couple of weeks here. We've seen it time and time again, bouncing off this resistance box that I have drawn here, also finding here as support when we initially dumped, but it has not held on so far just yet as support. We did try retesting it here on the 7th of May, but got a quick rejection back here to our ascending support line here of the symmetrical triangle that we've been forming here for the last couple of days. But we have yet to find the strength to move up and trade in this upper range to move towards our next target of 22 cents for Crypto.com. We have broken down here to the downside. Let's look at our volume here. We did find a little spike in volume here with a lot of selling pressure, but yet again, not as much selling pressure as we saw here when we saw a bigger red candle wick when we found this big dump here from 20 cents all the way down here to 14 cents. So we've seen here also in the past that this area has been a great time to accumulate here in the past, and we did not even reach that target yet for Crypto.com, but we have been consolidating, and we actually broke back into this pattern. This is the 4-hour chart, and we can see that we are starting to make some support here on the 4-hourly chart on this ascending pattern here. Oops. And we can see here we use that as support here, almost here, but once we broke back down, we broke back into this pattern shape. So only time will tell if we can hold this pattern, but so far it is looking like we are not oversold or overbought here on the RSI. So we still have plenty of room to go up here and potentially retest this area of resistance at the 19-cent mark here, making our way here until we ultimately find ourselves at resistance here in this area. All right, but let's look on the daily now. See here, if we look on the daily, we did create an M pattern here. So we got this M pattern here with our neckline being at that 17-cent mark right here. And the price target for this M pattern would have been actually, let's see here. So the price target of this M pattern would be right here at the neckline, and it would be exactly here confluent with our support box here if it were to break down this far. But so far we did find a nice bounce here, and we just found a huge wick to the downside, just like a lot of these other altcoins that did have that flash crash earlier today and yesterday. We did see a nice recovery from a lot of different altcoins here, because if we just look at this wick here on the daily, we did see, let's find the measured move here from the open down here to this wick. We saw about a 17% dump here for Crypto.com, but we have since resolved and recovered that, and we just made a wick. So it was only now around a 7% dip here for Crypto.com, and we're seeing that with a lot of other altcoins. They did drop around 15 to 20%, but they have since recovered them, and some of them are back to normal, like Ethereum and Litecoin, Binance, to name a few. But we do see here that there was an M pattern forming here on the daily. If we look here on the 4-hourly as well, we saw some other M patterns here. We did see one right here, right? And we have since hit that price target for this smaller M. If we look right here from the top here to the bottom of the neckline, this neckline here is also around here of our support box. So once it was broken, we did see a sharp and quick move to the downside, but we have since broken back into our symmetrical triangle. So we do have to wait to see. But when we broke down here, we found our support at this lower support line here. That's been support in this area and this area, and also right here. So we know that's also significant support at the 15-cent mark. But right now we have recovered back to our 17-cent range. Now let's also look at our EMA ribbon too. So for our EMA ribbon, so far we are finding some resistance here. As it starts fanning out, we did continue our bearish pattern here of the EMA ribbon, acting as dynamic resistance here, and we're finding it still again as resistance. When we zoom in, if we look here, we are just finding wicks here to the upside, and the price keeps getting pushed down here, finding touches here on our 21 EMA here ribbon. So we do have to break through this resistance in order for us to move back up here and start trading in this upper range here between 18 cents to 19 cents, where we do find our resistance here. So that's what it's looking like on the EMA ribbon for the 6-hourly chart. If we look on the daily chart, we are starting to flip bearish here, which is not a good sign for Crypto.com, but we are finding resistance here at this point as well. We do see that we're trying to make our way back up here, but the daily candle still has 14 hours left till it closes. If we manage to make this close above this pattern right here, then we can still continue our way to make up for the upper resistance here in this area. And now let's look on the 4-hourly, and we're seeing that we're going right into and trading right into this EMA ribbon as well. Now let's look at our other moving averages. Okay, so this is our daily chart, and we are seeing our 21, our 50, and our 200 moving average here. We are seeing our 50 moving average here acting as active resistance here, dynamic resistance, also along with our 21 moving average. But we do see our 200 moving average here coming as nice support here and also around here. We are still trading within the 50 to the 200 moving average range right here. So once we break back up here, let's zoom in a little bit closer so we can see what these moving averages are actually doing. So we did find a bearish cross here on the daily right here, and that's right where we came up here for another retest, but we came back down here being actively pushed down by this bear cross. But if this manages to come back up here and we come back up in the next couple of days, we could get another bull cross here in the next coming days for this symmetrical triangle to play out. But we are still waiting on this close. The daily close is still 14 hours away as of this recording, but it is still looking like it's intact. It's kind of an indecision candle at this point. We do have a big wick to the upside and a big wick to the downside, but there is more of a wick towards the upside. So it's looking a little bit bearish at the moment, but we are still finding a lot of support here at this support box that we held. All right, so my price targets for Crypto.com are, if we do manage to stay within the symmetrical triangle here and break back in, this was just a fake out, then we could retest this area at 19 cents and then retake 20 cents for our third price target of 22 cents here, this upper resistance area. But if we do manage to break down, we do see our next price target here at the 14-cent mark for another area to reload right here, where we found time and time again. But we do see this potential W pattern forming here, and the price target of that would be from the neckline here at 19 cents all the way down to here to the, I'll take the conservative one and drop here at 14 cents. And if we move that up here to our neckline, we could see a potential breakout back here, retesting into our huge ascending triangle that we've been covering since February. So that's what it's looking like for Crypto.com. Remember, this asset is more in line with Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin starts to pump and go to all-time highs, then Crypto.com will follow, because this follows it more than a lot of other altcoins at this point. So that's my price targets for Crypto.com here in the near future. So be on the lookout for more videos of me updating this. But other than that, peace out.